All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Today's presenter is Rick Voight. He's a lifelong snapshooter who's been in the imaging business for a few decades. He is the CEO of Vivid-Pix, a company that invents and harnesses technologies, making it simple to relive memories. Rick and his company have partnered with the National Institute for Dementia Education in doing pioneering work with photo reminiscence therapy. We are delighted to have Rick here today.
And I am delighted to be here today. And in fact, at Allen County Public Library, whenever I have the opportunity to stop over and do a little bit of research and see some good friends, it is always a pleasure to swing by. And for those of you who don't know me, I do travel quite a bit. I am seeing a question here from Wilbur. Is there any handout? And I'll be navigating through our website so that we are able to have a plethora of information available to you. So let me start doing just that. So Vivid-Pix, we've been around for 10 years this year, which is pretty wonderful. And as you may have seen, as Allison was showing y'all our homepage, we started out actually improving underwater photos, and that's a very difficult image to fix because of the effects of water on light. About 7 years ago, we invented it and brought to market Restore. And Restore improves old photos, documents, the ability to add metadata, and many, many additional things within our Restore software. So Allen County, as you all know, is a wonderful organization that continues to stay abreast of different technologies and different ways to help people tell their stories as well as ancestor stories. So we're proud, and right now I am in the news area and our blog. So if you had not seen this article, we were pleased on Friday to release a press release having to do with this event, which is the Genealogy Center at Allen County Public Library is world renowned for having the largest genealogy center in a public library in America. And we, Vivid-Pix, is world renowned for our photo and document image restoration software. Earlier this year, we launched our memory station at Allen County, and in collaboration with Allen County today, bringing to you the ability to tell your stories and photo reminiscence therapy education to you, the patrons, and the broader community. And that's an important thing because the broader community has a number of needs. That need might be, I'm a genealogist and I want to be able to share the stories of our ancestors. How might we do that? It's important for us to be developing our own stories for future generations. So how might we do that? And as I'll share in a moment, the research that we have done that Allison touched on photo reminiscence therapy. And there are over 12 million Americans that have dementia. And dementia, actually, there are over 100 different types of dementia. Alzheimer's is the most known of dementia types. And we must capture people's stories before those memories literally fade away. And of course, our software makes those photographic memories come back to life. So this is, again, within our Don't Let Your Memories Fade. You can read the full press release on what Kurt had to say, what I had to say, a little bit more about Allen County and then ourselves within this press release. But I'm going to go back because as you do important, impactful things, it should be constantly being communicated. So as an example, back in April, we launched Tell Your Story in Rochester, New York, which Rochester, if you don't know, was the place where Eastman Kodak was headquartered. And obviously Kodak was instrumental to all of us getting involved in the photography activity. And in addition to that, this location, Friendly Senior Living, is actually, based on Newsweek, the #1 nursing home in the state of New York. So we were quite proud when we brought the memory station and education out at Friendly Senior Living. We're also proud of many of the altruistic things that Vivid-Pix does. For instance, sponsoring the International African American Museum in Charleston, South Carolina, now scheduled to open in January 2023. And as mentioned earlier, we launched the memory station at Allen County. And then last year, we did extensive research on photoreminiscence therapy. So I'm going to go back to the press release here. And this area here links out to the solutions page. So we tried to make the solutions page very easy to learn and to navigate all of these wonderful new programs that we're sharing today at Allen County Public Library and launching today at Allen County Public Library. So I'm going to play a quick little video here so you'll get a flavor. So I've been in the photo business for 37 years, and I've seen a lot of things come go, but one thing has not changed, and that this wonderful thing we call a photograph captures a moment in time so that we're able to reminisce and relive those memories tomorrow. And it's important for us to do that so we can share them with loved ones and we can share them with future generations. So please don't let your memories fade. They're important. So what we've put together here on the solutions page is bite-sized ways to learn about this broader portfolio of products, services, and create a portfolio for all of you to be able to take care of different aspects of your memories. And that memory is photographically and as well as our brain, our cerebral memories. So within the education area, there's a short video here, and then you're also able to click on education, and we've brought forth a number of free and reasonably priced family and professional courses that touch on a number of different needs. So for instance, on Reminisce, on this page, we describe the health and social benefits of reminiscing. And it is a health and social benefit. And one, caregivers, those who take care of a loved one or a paid professional, need help and services in order for them to interact with those who are going through cognitive decline. And Josh Freitas is an amazing individual. He is the program manager for Certis Senior Living down in Orlando, Florida, who have 4 facilities. He's also the chair of the National Institute for Dementia Education. And this was actually a presentation that we did back in February, I believe, here at Allen County Public Library. And it covers our photoreminiscence therapy, but it also speaks to a growing need as we have an aging population. How are we going to pay for the health and well-being of our population? So it's a 48-minute long video, but it covers a lot of important topics. This 10-minute video integrates in the research as well as how you might want to think about integrating your photo stories into working with a loved one. And then this 20-minute video is nuts and bolts on the research that Josh and I had a pretty nice conversation, question and answer session about. Lower down here is the abstract of the research that we did. And by clicking, you're able to expand and you can read the full research 8-page paper on what we did, how we did it, what is dementia, how are we treating it, and the like. So it's worth reading this if in fact you personally are experiencing cognitive decline, or if you're working personally or professionally within this arena. So back over here to the education page. So let me go back here. I'll navigate back to the education page. Reunions. Vivid-Pix, we own Reunions magazine. And if in fact you're getting together as a family, class, or military group, this can provide a lot of education to y'all. And I won't go through the rest of this. But the new courses that we now have brought to market are Printed Photo Organizing Made Easy, Tell Your Stories for Families and Loved Ones, and Photo Reminiscence Therapy. So most of us have quite a bit of photos and documents, and we may not have organized them in such a way to be able to do more with them. So we created a very large, expansive, easy to follow, step-by-step way to organize, to organize your photos. And it's broken down into different steps. So for instance, what supplies might you need? Solutions from the experts, the ABCs, breaking the rules. These classes are quite thorough in organizing your photos. Then the second class that we've developed is Tell Your Stories. And by the way, Kathy Nelson, she is the founder of the Photo Managers. And the Photo Managers are 1,200 people around the globe that will go into your home, work with you in order to organize all of your memories, scan your memories, do more things with your memories. And they provide a terrific service. A lot of people, for multiple reasons, may not choose to hire somebody to do those things for you. And that's why we have this DIY class for you to do it yourself. Laura Hedgecock is the president of a group called Genia Bloggers, and she also has a business that brings forth the wonderful stories, because she was the recipient of wonderful stories from her grandmother that allowed her to be able to learn about the life of her grandmother and her ancestors. So she feels a strong need to be able to help others tell their stories and share their stories well. So Genia Bloggers, there are 2,000 Genia Bloggers. Again, Laura's the president of that. And this class series will teach you how to capture the stories from others, as well as tell your own stories. And I won't dig into each of these just from a time. All of the syllabus is available on our website. And then Josh Freitas. So as chair of National Institute for Dementia Education, Berkeley Music Educated, Harvard Health, he has a unique perspective to be able to take those stories and use them in order to help the person who is afflicted by cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, dementia, as well as to help the caregiver. And again, that can be a loved one and that can be a professional caregiver. So we've created a full series of classes in order to be able to help you do this as well. We've also brought out fundamentals of digital photography. And we take, as a population globally, about 1.4 trillion photographs a year. So it might make some sense, since photos are such an integral part of our lives, it might make sense for us to take a class to be able to take better pictures. So from the professional standpoint, think about all the different ways that our loved ones and or ourselves are being cared for as we age. And that might be someone like a visiting angel that comes to a home, interacts with a loved one. And wouldn't it be wonderful if, instead of sitting there and watching TV or doing some dishes, that you're doing something important, and that is capturing the stories, to be able to capture the legacy of our loved ones, so that those people's story can be shared with future generations. And then we've also, Josh developed the class, and then it's a 50-question exam, and it's actually a NIDE certification program so that you can be certified in photoreminiscence therapy. So all of this is available on the education page, and I did get to this from Solutions. And then, of course, we continue to offer different types of free and low-cost education as well. So let's go back over to Solutions. So we touched on education at that point. So most of us do have many, many photos and documents, and we're not quite sure how we want to digitize those items. And again, you can DIY, or you can come to Allen County Public Library and DIY it within the facility here, where they have 2 of the memory stations. So this short video of what the memory station is and what Vivid-Pix Restore is, I'll play this video. The memory station, I'm quite pleased, is helping a number of people already.
Hi, we're here at the Thrive Center in Louisville, Kentucky. And the Thrive Center is a wonderful location that brings together various technologies to help the aging population. And whether that be someone who wants to stay in their own home longer, what are the technologies that can help them do that? And it's also for facilities that are looking for different technologies in order to be able to help the aging population. Here what we've set up is the memory station, and the memory station is designed to make it fast and easy for people to literally press one button to scan their old photos and documents. 2, to bring those photos into Restore software to bring those photos back to life, improving color, contrast, lightness, and sharpness all at once, making them look new again. And then 3, we've also got the solution where you're able to archive those memories, whether it be the photographic, whether it be a verbal, or whether it be that you want to archive for long-term security in a cloud archive. The memory station is broken up into 3 parts. So the first part is with the Fujitsu ScanSnap SV600 scanner, that literally with one button you can scan 1 or more memories. Now, if in fact I had multiple photos, because we all have many photos, I can lay down those many photos, and the software will automatically separate those into individual images so that you're able to save those, and of course restore those with Vivid-Pix Restore software. Now within the Restore software, I'm able to select that image. We give you a 9-up view, and I like the center image, and I can see marked improvement. But I'd like to fine-tune this a little bit. by just brightening it up a little bit and perhaps reducing the vividness a little bit, the color. And now I've got a wonderfully improved image. And I click Save. So just that quickly, you're able to scan, you're able to restore, and relive your memories. So come to the Thrive Center. Learn how to thrive as you age, restore, and relive your memories. Go to any of our other locations in order to relive your memories. And of course, this is available for your home as well.
So that's an overview of the memory station. As I mentioned here, Allen County Public Library and the Genealogy Center has 2 of these memory stations set up that are free to use here at the library. So please stop by and restore, well, scan and then restore your memories. So if you click on the Learn More, at this point you can learn all about what is the product, how it works, the power behind this, the ScanSnap scanner. As mentioned, they are available for sale as well, the scanner alone with the software, as well as bundled with all of the education that we just overviewed. So pretty reasonably priced. Or again, come to Allen County Public Library. So some of the photo items and more that we have are not analog prints. So they're not a printed photo or document. So we have slides, we have negatives, we have movies, we have digital camcorder tapes, VHS, Beta, 8mm, etc. And we also have potentially some very unique items like tin types, daguerreotypes, and we might have audio tapes. And so the purpose of having professional digitizing services is so that you can have all of those items digitized as well. So by clicking on Learn More, you're able to hear Brett, the owner of Your Legacy, Your Stories, and learn more about the different products and services that are available. And I included this video here because this is actually a professional photo organizer's story of all the different things that she has, because we're all in the same boat. We all have way too many images that are collecting dust in closets, and those stories are not being shared with all these wonderful items. And of course, this is available a la carte for a small number of items, or you might have a bunch of photos or a bunch of slides, or you might have an assortment of things. So all of this is available. So going back over the solutions page. Store and record. So this is an area that I'm extremely excited about. So imagine, if you will, that you are able to have a digitized, call it a photograph, and you're able to upload that photo up into the cloud. And now being up in the cloud, I'm able to do so many different things. I'm able to do object recognition, which actually looks at a photograph and identifies the objects that are within the photograph and metadata tags them. I'm actually able to record a story and attach that verbal story to a photograph, so that you're able to share in your own voice what was occurring within that photograph. And I'm actually able to share that with others. So I'm going to go back here for a moment and play this short video. This is pretty revolutionary and really, really helpful on many different levels. One of our partners is File Shadow.
And what File Shadow has done, along with ourselves and with Fujitsu, is to be able to scan, to store, to restore, to record memories, and to be able to share those memories with loved ones. So I'm going to play a brief video here that provides this overview of what File Shadow integrated with Restore software does.
I have several old photographs of relatives that worked in a munitions factory during World War I. And as you can see, they have faded and yellowed over the years. I would like to clean them up and preserve them in a digital archive. To do this, I'm going to use the Fujitsu SV600, Restore by Vivid-Pix, and File Shadow Cloud Archive. I start by placing the photograph on the desk and pressing the blue button at the base of the scanner. The old photograph is scanned and automatically uploaded into my File Shadow account. Jumping into my File Shadow account, I can see the scanned photo is already there. Tapping on the thumbnail lets me see more detail about the photograph, including the tags, automatically identifying the objects in the photo. From here, I can use Vivid-Pix Restore to improve the quality of the photo. Selecting Edit with Vivid-Pix will automatically launch Restore and load my scanned photograph directly from the cloud. Restore analyzes the photo, then displays a panel with 9 improved variations. I simply have to choose the one that looks best. Once I have chosen, I am shown both the original and the improved versions. I like what I have chosen, so I'm just going to hit Save. The improved version of the photo is automatically uploaded to my File Shadow account. File Shadow will identify the improved version of the photo as a revision of the original and tags it with a red triangle. Tapping on the thumbnail, I can see the revised and original versions of the photograph. You can download and share the revised or the original versions at any time. Both copies are kept in your vault. File Shadow never modifies your photos. They will never yellow or fade. File Shadow.
Then 2, imagine if you will, that you've got all of these images now accessible through tablet computers, your mobile device, your computer, in the cloud. Imagine if you're able to view these memories, to record an audio memory with your thoughts, and then even to be able to share this photo with, in any memory, a document, anything, with other people, because all of us remember the stories of our past a little bit differently. It might be that my sister is 3 years older than me, and she's going to remember situations differently than I remember situations. And so you're actually able to share this image with them through an email in a cloud area so that other people are able to share the stories of all these wonderful memories.
So this is, hopefully you agree, pretty powerful ways to gather the stories behind our memories. And I'll give you an application. So let's say that you're a family and you're trying to relive a loved one, and that could be for any number of reasons. It could be a celebration of life. It could be trying to collect all of these memories in one place and making sure that Christmas 1967, which was the example photo from my past, and I want to know what my mom or my dad can't anymore because he's passed, which is part of the reason why we should do this. My sister, what were their memories of holidays growing up? And we're able to collect in our own voices all of those stories and attach them to these images. And it's a great way to bring people together, to be talking about the wonderful times, to be sharing the memories and the family values with younger kids, and then of course for future generations. So most of you are familiar, or many of you hopefully are familiar with Vivid-Pix Restore. It automatically improves faded photos and documents, and that's literally any type of photo or document, as long as it's an image file, so JPEGs and TIFFs and PNGs and BMPs and photographic RAW, and you're able to add metadata directly into the image file so that you're able to retain the information and transport that information with that image anywhere. We don't strip metadata. Metadata is becoming more and more understood, and some of the sites may strip metadata. We're dropping the information directly into the file folder or into the image file. So here within, and of course there's videos, here within cognitive decline and dementia, I touched previously on the research that we have done, and I've also explained the education that's available. So what we did here in helping capture stories is, my mom and dad live in Rochester, New York. I live in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm maybe uncomfortable doing this for myself, and I'd like to hire somebody to spend time with my loved one in order to be able to capture their stories. I used the example a little bit ago of those who visit our loved ones in their home or in a independent or assisted or memory care facility. And to be able to have someone spend time with your loved one to capture those stories, to then create a photographic and type explanation of the photograph based on what this person was able to ascertain from your loved one. And that's what we've created here with our online care and storytelling service with Akai. And these are actually college students in the health industry that are A, learning about it in nursing school and the like, and then B, picking up a couple extra bucks as they interact with our loved ones. Vivid-Pix prints. So I've been in the photo industry for 37 years. My last job with Kodak was Vice President National Sales Manager for any printed or digitized consumer image in America. So $1.5 billion a year. And I did not want to get into the photo finishing business until we had very unique things. And we now have very unique things. So for instance, and I'm going to link out to our site here, vividpixprints.com. So that can be creating unique photo books. That can be creating collage walls, prints and enlargements, GIFs, all kinds of different things. But the reason it makes the most sense for us to get involved now is that we're able to tie in the knowledge that we've learned from our research in order to create things like a memory wall, so that your loved one wakes up and that they're surrounded by loved ones, if in fact they might be isolated or lonely, or even worse, cognitive decline, dementia. And you can expect that we're going to come out with more and more products that will help those as well. So I'm going to play the last video here, and then I'm going to hand it back over to Allison to see if we have any questions.
So thank you for your time today. Hopefully what you see is that Vivid-Pix has brought together a complete solution, and that solution is made up of different parts depending on what's important to you. And that might be, I've got my photos everywhere. I don't know what to do with them. How do I do something with them? Whether that be bringing forth the stories, whether that be digitizing and doing it yourself or mailing them away to a very secure, safe location in the United States and sending them in from anywhere throughout North America and of course globally. To be able to work with those that may be going through cognitive decline, and to bring forth those stories and to reduce isolation and loneliness and depression and dementia. And to be able to do all of these things, whether in a home or a patron service if you're a library, or a historical or genealogical society, and you're wishing to bring forth more programs in order to have a broader group of people learn of the important work that you do as a society, and to have classes in order to have your community come together through the genealogical or historical society, community centers. So community centers are wonderful because it gets people out of their homes together, interacting with others. And you can have classes in order to be able to teach people. You can have stations that people can bring their memories with them and digitize. And of course, adult living facilities. And that can be any sort of location. It can be a 55+ community. It can be an independent assisted or memory care facility. And to have the tools so that it's either A, an activity that's a bunch of fun, or B, something that actually has more cognitive benefit.
So hopefully this was helpful to y'all. I would not be surprised. Well, hopefully it was helpful to you on many different levels. The reason we Vivid-Pix created all this is that we don't have a roadmap on how to get our photos out of the closet all the way to doing something with them. And that's what we have created. And per the last video that I just shared, your unique solution might be different than somebody else's. So we wanted to make sure we had a broad portfolio of products and services to meet virtually anyone's needs. Allison, Elizabeth, thoughts or questions?
Hello. That was awesome. So thank you. I had to change my computer screen a little bit. Okay, so people are very happy in the chat. I've been watching some of the comments, but we do have questions. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Is the memory station easy to use? I'm thinking I could apply for a grant and get one to, say, place at one of the local retirement homes. Library is too overcrowded, sadly. The librarian is the best. But wouldn't we have to train volunteer staff to help out?
So many things. So wonderful question. So first off, we actually created, let me pull it up here quickly. When we were doing the installation into Friendly Senior Living, I was able to spend time with the residents in order to make sure that it was easy to use. So it literally, and so this use case is just as you're describing. Maybe it's within a senior living or a community center. So you're able to simply insert a USB into a computer. You're able to scan your images, and your scanning is literally as easy as pressing the blue button. And then you're able to continue to scan more. You're able to fine tune a scan, cropping or flattening in the instance of documents. And you can watch our videos on how we're able to do those things. You're able to name them something different than a date. And then you're able to simply close out of the scanning, open up Restore. Restore is literally as easy as selecting one or more images, select the image that looks best to you from the 9-up screen, and then save or fine tune. And then all of the images are put directly back into the image folder, or you can actually begin some organization within the GUI itself, the graphic user interface of Restore. And then the person's able to walk away with their USB. So is it easy? Yes. It literally is as easy as pressing a blue button, renaming it if you wish, and then clicking one button in Restore, and pulling out the USB and moving on.
Perfect.
Right.
Thank you. And
You
yes,
bet.
it is that easy. I have used it, guys. Okay, what type of file to save for images? I've heard JPEGs deteriorate a bit every time you even access them, much less edit them. Yet Apple Care says that's not so. Which is it?
So JPEG is a wonderful format. And the reason for it being such a wonderful format is it's easily transportable between different people, and it does use something called compression in order to make the information of that image a little bit smaller. So JPEG is really, really good. Its negative side is every time you open and close a JPEG, you might lose a little bit of information. But you're really having to open and close it a bunch of times for it to have a material impact. TIFF is the best format to be scanning in, and that's actually the information about the image. So it's a data file. So TIFF is the best for archiving. They're extremely large files, but JPEG is very fine to use as well.
Thank you. And I will tell you guys that we scan in TIFF for archival purposes. Does scanning software also include OCR capabilities?
It does. Free.
Isn't that exciting? Does Vivid-Pix Memory Station cost more? Is there a premium if you're buying it for a public setting, i.e. a library, a senior center, etc., versus purchase for personal use?
Same price. And of course, the difference if you're a library or 501c3, you would not have to pay sales tax.
Perfect. That one. Memory Station looks reasonably priced, but we need a computer too, right? PC or Mac, question mark.
Yes, you do need a computer, and the multi-part answer. And so I'm a Windows guy. So PCs are most common. And then within the integration with File Shadow, as an example, we work on Mac and Windows. The integration of Windows of Memory Station is with Windows. It is not with Mac.
There you go. Okay, someone's asking how many JPEGs should we scan in?
So the minimum DPI to scan a JPEG is 300 DPI. We recommend 600 DPI, and that's actually for JPEG or for TIFF. And think about what you may be doing with the image. So if for instance, and Randy, my business partner, likes saying within every good picture, there's a great picture. And maybe you want to crop away some of the not as important parts of the image. That 600 DPI versus 300 DPI allows you to crop into the image and still have a lot of data, yet still at 300 DPI. So we recommend 600 DPI, TIFF or JPEG, and that's an analog statement. So if you're scanning slides or negatives, 2400 or 4800. 2400 would be analogous to a 300 DPI print. 4800 would be analogous to a 600 DPI in a print.
Okay, someone's saying, you keep sparking my curiosity and brainstorming. Where can I email to ask more specific questions, such as necessary specifics for a computer, etc.?
So on our website, so for everyone, let me reshare our site. Underneath it in support, contact support. Please send us any questions that you have. Our support people, Cindy, is wonderful. And if she's unable to answer the question, she knows where to reach myself or other people within the organization.
Awesome. Okay. Can you talk a little about PNG files and how they relate to TIFF or JPEG? I have saved several documents as PNG, and when I go back to open the document, my computer can't read it. So I'm not exactly sure what I need to do. I was also wondering if you had any other information to share on PNG.
Yep. So PNG, BMP, TIFF, RAW are all considered lossless files. So if you're unable to open a PNG file, my first question is, how are you trying to open them? If you're trying to open the PNG directly from your file manager and it's unable to open from any current computer, I'd be concerned that the file might have been corrupted somewhere, because PNG is a highly transportable, highly used image type. So that would be a concern.
Okay. Can the memory station intake negatives and slides?
It cannot. It scans things that have been printed. That is one of the reasons why we decided to have the outlab service or mail away service, so that we could provide scanning of anything.
Perfect. Okay, so we're out of questions in there. If you guys think of any more, please feel free to throw them in. I'm gonna double check. Okay, double check that. It looks like we're good in the chat, but do you have any more advice for people that are interested in maybe bringing this to a local library or senior center or anything else?
Absolutely. As I say in that first video, it's important for us to share these memories and to capture these memories. Kurt Allison and I were actually chatting a little bit earlier today, and memories fade. And if we don't capture these stories and we don't share these stories either with current loved ones, and let's play with that one for a second. So let's say that it's a 55 plus community or a library, and you're able to capture those stories. You're able to share those with younger generation people, and as both people are still around and alive, that child today might enjoy hearing where they came from. And some of the lessons learned of that senior person could help that younger person. It's oftentimes difficult for a younger person to realize that older person used to be young too. And a photograph is a wonderful way to illustrate that, you know what? Boy, I could show you some pictures that I looked pretty crazy. And you can relate to the person. That's not just this old person that's telling me these things, that wisdom that comes forth. So hopefully that might provide libraries or societies or community centers or anyone to be able to reach out to their community, either as a fundraiser or for a grant, to bring those into your facility. And then, of course, for future generations, to be able to share those stories in your own voice so future generations know you as well.
Thank you. Do you have any videos or resources or contact information for how to archive the photos, like file naming?
Yeah, we actually, so a friend of mine, Ron Madsen, is the technology person for California Genealogical Society. And he's actually taken it upon himself, because they've installed the memory station into their library there, And he just shared out with me a wonderful document. We'll be putting that up on our site sometime soon that gets into naming conventions and more.
Thank you. All right, I don't know if you guys can see the other video that Elizabeth has up. She's currently muted. She's on the floor. She's at the memory station. So you can actually see that it is all set up. If any of you are planning a trip to Allen County or able to come, it's super easy. She actually just pushed the button to scan, turned it on, and once she hits it again, it's actually scanning. She's scanning her hand. Oh, good. So it was that easy. She's now scanned her hand, and there it is. It's picking up her sweater, it looks like. So you guys just saw in real life how easy and quick it is to do a scan.
Yeah, so I have Kodak roots. George Eastman had a pretty good line that did well for the company for a bunch of years, which is you press the button, we do the rest. And that's what we try to do with Vivid-Pix. We try to make things super easy to use.
Oh, if you aren't able to see it, go up to view in the right-hand corner and go to the view and go to gallery so you can actually see what's happening. Once you go to the gallery, then you'll be able to see all the different little videos, and you'll see Elizabeth's video.
I do want to point out, I assume you guys can hear me okay,
Yes.
that if you're here using these machines, these are very close to our reference desk. So if you need help, come find us.
Could you go ahead and do one more scan so they can see how easy it is?
Do your other hand.
My other hand. Okay.
See how ambidextrous you are.
And there we go. That's it. It's going to pop up here and it'll probably go to her sweater. Oh, look. It's a nice
My
hand.
whole hand.
Beautiful. So hopefully you all were able to see the gallery, because I got a message that said some people couldn't see. So once you change your view, you should be able to see the gallery and saw how easy that was. The system sets a default location, i.e. USB port, so images are kept separate per user, ?
Yes. So within a public use area, we recommend the configuration settings so that all of the images are saved onto a USB. So you insert the USB, all of your images are scanned onto the USB, and then you are able to remove the USB when you leave the computer. In a home setting, of course, you don't need the USB, and that would simply be a different configuration setting.
And you can see Elizabeth just plugged it in and pulled it out. Does it scan newspaper clippings clearly?
It does.
Yeah,
So
and then you can use the restore software to clear them up.
Yeah, so when Rick first brought these here, I actually used my great-grandmother's journal, which begins in 1917, and there were pages in it that were super faded that I couldn't read at all, and I was actually able to use the restore software and I can read them now.
So that's the fun part about using this, is you can not only scan, but also clear up the pictures and be able to read them. Read documents, look at the pictures, see everything. It's wonderful.
And I need to do a shout out here for Allen County Public Library. So I'm a photo guy. I've been in the photo business literally straight out of college. And Allen County is the organization that identified that our software worked well on documents. So we created an algorithm. We listen. We really listen. documents were important to genealogy. So we created an algorithm just for documents. So all of your newspaper, all of your old records, your Bibles, etc. We have an algorithm just for these.
Thank you. What is the largest picture that can be scanned?
11 by 17 is the area that is marked there, as Elizabeth is pointing out. We've actually worked with Fujitsu up in Canada, and they are stating that actually Ontario ancestors up in Canada had been propping up the scanner up on a book, and that was allowing it to go into a broader area. And 12 by 12, yep. And 12 by 12 is actually an important size because many photo albums are that size. And obviously yet further when we think about many of the old record books. So there's enough depth of field within the lenses that are capturing the image that it can actually be heightened.
That's good to know. We're gonna have to play.
Maybe not use a book though.
Yeah, we don't
Maybe like
use
a block
books.
of wood.
Yes.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we have a couple of the stations, and folks, you're welcome to come in and use them for free. What external light is needed?
Actually, what's really so I've been in the imaging business for a really, really long time. We looked at many different manufacturers of scanners, and we selected to work with Fujitsu. Fujitsu is the largest scanning company in the world. They have over a 90% share within the health industry. The scanner actually takes into account outside light, and when it scans an object, it's adjusting for that. So, extreme cases always exist, but it adjusts for external light.
I will say that when we originally got these stations, we had them over here. And the reason why we moved them is because of this wonderful skylight. At midday on a cloudless day, it could blow out an image, which is why we moved them. But not everyone would have a skylight directly above them. It's kind of an unusual thing. But it worked out well because we were able to just move them to a different spot.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And again, Rick, wonderful to hear all these wonderful things that you're doing and working on. And I really hope that everybody got a piece of something that will help them, and they can definitely go to your website and learn more about any one of the topics that was covered. So thank you for joining us today.
My sincere pleasure, and only because the question just came in. Anne, please go, and it had to do with photo reminiscence therapy. Please go to our site and at vividpix.com/reminisce. You'll see all of the research. I did try to provide a high-level overview, and also at the top of our page, and let me just quickly share this so that you don't have to. So here underneath education is Reminisce. So if you click on Reminisce, here is many videos as well as information on photoreminiscence therapy.
Perfect. Thank you, Rick.
You
I
bet.
appreciate that. All right. Well, thank you for a wonderful presentation and for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for this program. Please be sure to register and join us for upcoming programs. And thank you, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you all for joining. Thanks.